Welcome back to part 2 of the Prodigal Son parable. We left off yesterday in Luke 15 and we read up to chapter 13. Where we left off, the younger brother asked his father for his inheritance early. So his father has gathered everything together, sold what he can, and given both of his children their inheritance early. The younger brother has now moved on and moved far away from his family. Let's continue. We are at Luke 15:14. And when he had spent everything, a severe famine arose in that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. And he was longing to be fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough bread, but I perish here with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you." So this is where the parable gets amazing. Here we have this young brother. He has gone by himself into another country. They are now in a famine. It's hard to get food. They're struggling. The man has no money left. So what does he do? He finds himself a job. And he's so desperate he goes and works with a pig farmer. That may not seem like much. However, when you think this man is Jewish. And what are pigs considered in Jewish tradition? Unclean. They don't eat pig. They don't eat pork. They stay away from that animal. They consider the animal unclean. So this man right now is so desperate for food, desperate for money. He is going against all of his beliefs and working with pigs. He's now at the point where he thinks even the pod that the pigs are eating looks desirable to eat. But remember, this is a Jewish man who is working with animals that are considered unclean in his culture. That's how desperate he is right now. No money, no food, working with unclean animals. And he realizes this. And he says, all these servants my dad has, and they're eating, they have a house, they have somewhere to stay. I'm here working with unclean animals. It's like a light bulb went off in his head. So now he's saying, well, if I go to my father and I beg for forgiveness, he'll let me back. And this is where the parable starts taking form. We've had somebody who has left everything because of their own self-desire, who thought they had everything, are now going against everything they believe, and are now realizing how difficult it is without having the father with you. Tune in tomorrow, and we're going to explore how the younger brother went back to the father, how this sets in motion the rest of the parable, and how you can really dive into this and get so much more from it instead of just reading it at a first glance. Get rest and stay blessed.